So we'll be covering video 5, why position sizing will make or break you. So let me tell you a personal story. So a friend of mine had like I think 10 or 11 wins in a row. So she was like very pumped. She like, man, I'm like up $10,000. It's like really cool. And then when she went for the next trade, I think it was a 12th or 13th trade, she did make a very big mistake. She almost put all like about 50% of her saving that time because she was very sure that dude, like this is it. Like I know I understand this. But the problem was she forgot one very basic rule of thumb, which separates a disciplined trader or a professional from a gambler. And with this video, I'm really hoping we are able to, speak about that, learn about it, and none of us make that mistake again. So, hope you guys are good. I'm Surbhi, building Flick, and I'm back with the series that's turning prediction market beginners into consistent winners. Fingers crossed. So far, we've covered the mechanics, timing, psychology. So today, the money question. How much should I actually bet? And this is why your trading account either grows steadily or dies a quick death. I really hope it's not the latter for you guys. So first things first, why your bet sizing matters more than being right, correct? So here's a truth bomb. You can win 70% of trades and still go broke. How? Simple math. If you risk 50% on every trade, just 3 losses in a row wipes you out completely. Meanwhile, traders who risk like 2% per trade, they can lose 20 trades straight and still have 67% of their account left. So position sizing isn't just important, it's everything. So please do take care of it when you're trading. Now, the second rule, the survival rule. I would never, from my personal account too, never risk more than 5%, right? And most traders who are good, they live by this. Never risk more than 1 to 5% of your total bankroll on any single trade. So your math would be somewhere around like if you have $1,000 in your account, $10 to $50 is the maximum you should risk in per trade. If you have $5,000 in your account, then maybe $50 to $250 max risk per trade. If you have $500 in your account, then 5 to 25 max risk per trade. Okay. But here's the key. When you're starting out or feeling uncertain, go smaller. If you have lower confidence, risk 1%. If you're feeling good about your research, maybe 3 to 4%. Never 5% just because you can, right? And I will show you also when I'm looking at markets, how do I think about it? So I will also give, a real life example. So I'm not sure if it's a real life example or not, but I had this in a case study when I was training as well. So there was a person, let's say person A, and I think she had about $2,000 to trade with. And there was a political market where the ex-candidate wins the primary, trading at 30 cents, I think. So that means like about 30% probability of this candidate winning. So Sarah's research suggested it should be 50-50. The wrong way, like this person who we're calling Sarah now, goes big and she puts like about $800 on it. If she's wrong, she loses 50% of her account in one trade. That's big, right? However, the smart way would be if Sarah used 3% rule. She risks $60 even if completely wrong. She only loses 3% and lives to trade another day, right? Does that make sense? But here's the beautiful part. If she's right and it moves to 50 cents, she will make a solid 67 return on that position. So I think being smart about it is like a better way versus like going all in all the time. So let's see, right? I'm here now. Okay. Let's say if you talk about this particular market, I really am strongly convinced Yannick Sinner can win US Open. But in all fairness, maybe he gets injured. He also won the last tournament. Maybe this is not his cup of tea, right? He has won US Open before. But there are also like other players who are more hungry than him who have not won this. And I think he goes against Carlos. So I'm Fairly certain though that Yannick Sinner is going to win, but there is a probability that he might not, right? Even if I don't want to, agree to it. So I would not put like a lot of money. Maybe I'll put like I have, let's say $1,000 in my bank account. I'll put maybe 3% of that on this particular trade, not more than that. And that's how I would really sincerely hope that most people do it. Now, another, let's say, okay. Let's say there are questions which you're not completely, okay. Let's say will Russia and Ukraine agree on a ceasefire in 2025? Now, I would really want them to. I'm not certain if it's going to happen or not. So I have not researched that much. So I will never put more than 1% of this. And how will I put it? Probably I'll go trade about it. What's happening right now in Russia, Ukraine? Do they have an incentive to stop the war right now? And if I feel, let's say that, yes, they do have an incentive to stop the war, then maybe I'll put 1% of the $1,000 that I have in my bank account. Because I'm not 100% certain, and this is something which I've newly researched. I want to hedge my position. I want to be in a position where I don't lose all my money. It's like, it's our hard-earned money, right? So this is how I'll think about this particular trade. Okay, then coming back to, okay, right. So primarily what does that mean is, okay, so I think the scale and strategy, right? There's a smarter approach to doing certain things or trading here. Instead of like trading your full 3% at once, you can also scale in gradually. Like start with 1% when you first spot the opportunity, then add 1% if new information confirms your thesis. Add the final 1% only if the price action moves your way, right? So this protects you from being early, which feels exactly like being wrong. Plus, if you're right, you're buying at better and better price as the market moves in your favor, correct? So I would strongly suggest like to go this way. Now, what else? Okay. So the fifth rule, right? Avoid the revenge trade death spiral. Here's where most beginners die, or I think if you're not disciplined, like it happens. It's like you lose a trade, get emotional and think, I'll make it back with one big trade. This is called revenge trading, and I think like a lot of us are familiar with it because I've seen, I think on crypto Twitter at least, it's like one of the most commonly used phrases, I would say. And it's almost like an account suicide. So please don't do it. So create this rule right now, no matter how sure you feel. No trade can exceed my maximum risk percentage. 0 exceptions. Okay. Andy spoke about this before. Always have that, you cannot lose more than 2%, 20%, whatever it might be. Write it down, put it on your screen, tattoo it on your forehead if you have to, for real. The market will always be there, but your account might not be. Okay. So please take care of yourself on this. So what was the mantra again? No matter how sure I feel, no trade can exceed my maximum risk percentage. Okay. Now, there's also a criteria, like it's an advanced thing, but I'll try to simplify it. If you want to trade like a professional trader, there's actually a mathematical formula for optimal bet sizing called the Kelly Criterion. Sorry, Kelly Clarkson, the singer. My bad. But instead of drowning you in math, here's a simple version. When the market price is like 40%, but you think the real is 60%, the math says you can safely risk about 10 to 12% of your bankroll. But here's not financial advice, just general advice. Cut that number in half. Better to be conservative and alive than optimal and broke, right? And please research on this. It might be of some use to you. It's not the Kelly Clarkson, but the Kelly Criterion. Anyhow, now I would say I would put this down. I think it's there in the description also. So your position sizing cheat sheet. If you're low confidence on a trade, 1% risk maximum. If you're medium confidence in a trade, then 2 to 3% of risk. If you have high confidence with great research, 4 to 5% of risk maximum. I'm absolutely certain trades still never more than 5%. Certainly, it's an illusion in markets. Remember, the goal isn't to get rich in one trade or one trade. It's to stay in the game long enough for your edge to compound, right? I think that's the real winner. And you can pick up almost every great trader in the history from Warren Buffett to anyone else. They have consistently done well. And that's how they reach where they have today. So, but the good news is, okay, if you learn from your mistakes, like one of the friends I spoke about earlier, she's still trading today. But she now does not risk more than 2% per trade. And she did, come back and made up of all her losses. But one thing I know, she's one of the most disciplined people I know now, right? So I would say your homework would be calculate your 1%, 3% and 5% risk levels right now. Write them down and grab like the free position size calculator, like from just Google it. And, start crunching a number and trade accordingly. So that's it. Now, next week, what will I be talking about? We'll be talking about how to spot the most profitable markets and the ones which are worth your time and capital. Cool? Thank you so much. And please remember, survive first and profit second. It's really important. Thank you.